Okay, let's look at narcissistic in a positive way. Let's see what we can learn from a narcissistic one, which is a disconnected person, had such trauma and wounds that no longer wants to feel. In a way, maybe we are going into that direction, but we have to balance it out, right? So we might overdo it in order to balance. So we're going into more polarity in order to become more balanced. That's basically what it is. It's the two ends of the same stick, and this is what it is. But anyway, narcissistic, we know they don't know themselves. They are wounded. Look at that. Everybody is narcissistic in a way, to one degree or another. The thing what we can learn from that is us empaths who feel so much for other people that we start feeling for ourselves. This is basically what you learn. They're leading you back to self-love. So if you know that, you don't have to play with the energy. You go directly to self-love. And when people tell you, oh, they are so self-absorbed. Yes, guess what? I'd rather be in my own energy and be self-absorbed and fulfilled by my own energy than absorb other people's shit. Okay? So let's not, because it's just, they're looking at it from one angle, but they cannot look at it from all angles because they don't have the understanding. So a lot of people who are saying certain things and so-called they label certain things, they don't see the whole enchilada. See the whole enchilada. So it's always about you. It's not about other people, for fuck's sake, because that was the old shit. That's the old shit. I'm not responsible for their feelings. Their feelings is their feelings. And just as much our feelings is our feelings when we have the tendency to fucking get sucked up by manipulators, cheaters, liars, who actually are wounded people, who are actually not knowing themselves, and they're not conscious, or maybe not consciously knowing, whatever, why they do things, whatever. We all have been doing that before we became conscious and more conscious. And we're becoming more and more conscious as a society, as individuals, etc., etc., etc. So all that is just, a lot of times people just say and see and look at things in one direction and from one angle. Life is not about one angle. You are not about one angle. You have many facets. You are this, you are that, you can be this way, you can be that way. Some people will call you the devil, others will call you the angel. You are tough as a rock and, solidifying yourself and your beingness, your true self-loving beingness. Because there is only self-love, for fuck's sake. Of course, those people we did not know back then, intuitive empath, and now we're becoming more and more intuitive towards ourselves and loving more to ourselves, more intuitive in seeing the other people, meaning seeing the gap that we had. And it's like me met myself 12 years ago, from 12 years ago, this is how I was. I was not a bad person, but I did not know. I've learned it was a survival skill. This is what they know, because it's directly linked with their survival. They think they have to be manipulative in order to get what they want. Well, I'm talking about all people basically, because most people are, that part of their humanness is the wounded part. The human part is wounded, okay? Your soul is all loving, all trusting, all that. But when you are dropped into this so-called group reality that you think it is real and it's a hologram and it's just a stupid play, and you believe that the play is real, you will play as if it was real. And it's not real. It's a fucking lie. And most people are so occupied with knowing other people that they forget that they came here to know themselves. You did not come here to know other people or go and see the puzzle, the pieces of the puzzle. You were not dropped in to occupy your mind with other people. You are here to open your own puzzle, to know who you are, know that the power is within you, is always there. You just did not know. So what were you doing? You were focusing on other people. You were so derailed from the real thing. And you actually distracted yourself. They distracted you because you allowed them to distract you with their little stupid game, with their little mind games and all that shit, So we are nice, we are kind because we are ourselves when we meet someone, right? You are so uninhibited, right? You just say whatever. So they get really sucked in, and you get sucked in by their originality at that moment. Because at that moment, whatever it is, it's original. But once you start to get onto the game of, this has to be something you want to keep, it's like a flower. A flower is so beautiful when I go by and I see it, but the moment I cut it, it will die in a week or maybe 3 days or 5 days. It doesn't matter. Once you want to keep that, once you get attached to it, the attachment itself will ruin the fun. You want to get attached to it. You want to keep it. You want to own it. Exactly. And this is exactly what happens to us when people want to own us. And when we want to own people, then the beauty, the spontaneity of that originality gets lost because you are cut. They cut you, you cut them, and then eventually it becomes bittersweet. It's artificial, people. The moment you want to keep somebody forever and you get onto this stupid idea of keeping them, that gets bittersweet. So this is what you actually keep showing to each other because you lose your sweet spot. It becomes this artificial shit. And this is always in every marriage, in every bullshit, all this crap. We're not here to fucking be forever with somebody. We are here to be forever with ourselves. And whatever is on the way, don't get attached to it. And, the moment you want to keep them is the same thing as I met that cat down at the river or whatever. And then I enjoy her company so much. She enjoys my company. We've been sitting there for hours with each other. We had so much fun. And then I was like, winter is coming. I cannot come here for every day to her. I just love her vibration. She's so cute and all that stuff. But then again, I thought, whatever. We met. It was a spontaneous meeting. I enjoyed her loving ways. She's special. I'm special for her. And that's it. And then we meet when we feel like it. But and nowadays, when I meet with people, I start enjoying their special frequency in that particular moment. But the moment they say, let's get together and let's whatever, and they want to make this permanent, it really makes me puke. I don't want to make it permanent. I don't need them. They don't need me. It was fun. It was that moment. That moment was a fun moment. But when you want to lock in that moment, it becomes it bittersweet, right? And I had this dream with the caramel sauce. And the caramel is also like sugar is sweet. But when you melt it and you keep melting it, it becomes bitter and it becomes bittersweet. And if you have not watched Bitter Moon yet, it's a movie from Polanski, right? He was the director. Oh, it's one of my favorite movies because it takes you into the relationship dynamics, this romantic relationship dynamics, you know, how lovers are so fascinated by each other in the beginning, and then where it ends up, this shit, when you want to make it permanent. So the moment you want to make it permanent, it really, really, really becomes this artificial shit. And it becomes bittersweet. That's it. And in Hungarian, it was not translated like completely like bitter moon, but it was translated into bitter honey. And the sweeter the honey is in the beginning, the bigger the trap is. And we might be stimulated in all kinds of ways going into a relationship. A lot of men uses women as energy, you know, like little batteries. But a lot of women want to use the same way men. And they are narcissistic people and narcissistic women, which means not aware of himself, not aware of herself, not conscious, does not know himself or herself. So all those are people who are not connected to their real self, and there is this mask on them, which they don't even know that they wear. And they don't even know that in the play of hologram, in not knowing thyself, the mask burnt onto their face. So whatever they believe about themselves, they are not that. They are a lot more, of course, but they have no idea who they are. So they think that the only way they can get what they want is by manipulating someone emotionally, sexually, financially, whatever. It does not matter. So it's like, let's see the bigger picture. Okay, let's see the dynamics, the whole enchilada before we look at it from one angle. So let's see the so-called narcissistic, disconnected, not knowing him or herself people, most of them who are not conscious and not aware of themselves, truly their whole beingness, are disconnected people, and they have their positive function in this whole thing, you know, to really get to know yourself, seeing your responsibility and seeing theirs, and not picking up and take it as your own, okay? Because what I was doing is like, I had many relationships with so-called disconnected people, but why? Because I was on one level still disconnected. So they were kind of reminding me of moving forward instead of going backwards. And by letting it go, because I have known it, I've known the dynamics psychologically, intellectually, all that stuff. But my feeling part and was still manipulated. So they can, you know, I've met a person who, I did not even want anything from that guy. I just looked at it as somebody that I had a great conversation. And then I said, okay, let's get together, drink a coffee if you want, whenever you come to my city, and let's talk a little, maybe watch a good movie or something. But it was completely, I did not even like the guy, meaning looking wise, that did not have physical attraction to the guy at all whatsoever. I had a great conversation, and I love to speak to people. I love deeper conversations. But the guy, the moment he got into the apartment, he started manipulating my sacral chakra. All of a sudden, I feel this incredible sexual desire. What? It's like, what the fuck is that? So, and that the feeling, you know, after the next day, I could not believe it. It was like, holy shit, that pain in my stomach, the feeding tube started again going. I thought, this is a familiar fucked up feeling. What the fuck is that? So these are emotional manipulators. These are sexual manipulators. Very sexual, narcissistic. They seem so nice. They seem so kind, whatever. And your unaware part, the unaware part of you that you did not consciously really got intimate with previously, can be manipulated. So there is the thing. You don't know yourself. You don't know how you work. You don't know how, you can be manipulated because you have no awareness in your beingness about your whole beingness. You have some kind of and some level of awareness, of course, because everybody has. But, really all the facets, you don't know. You have to